everyone, and welcome to the Deary Talk Show. Today, I just want to say I hope everyone is having a great Sunday. And also, hit that like button while you're listening to me talk, and go ahead and become a subscriber if you're not. And if you're subscribing, hit that notification bell. Comment below and share this video. And it may be an unpopular opinion today, but nevertheless, it will be my opinion and how I see things that took place. I want to say the girls' trip, but it's really kind of the mean girls' trip. So, for me, you guys know, if you read the banner at the bottom, everything that I state is allegedly, always in my opinion. This is for copyright of 1976, fair use, celebrity news, and what teaching and all that good jazz. So let's get into it. She was like she hadn't really picked the rooms, so she needs to assign the rooms. So, of course she goes and she's the host paying for it. So she gets the largest room and Shanita was like, you know, she liked the room because it was two other rooms like adjacent to Melody where the side Melody's at. So Shanita wanted the room, but Melody was like, she took their name cards and whoever pulled, that's who got it. So Lauren selected her name and Shanita has the other room. Fast forwarding past all of that, we're going to go to the airport where all the ladies, with the exception of Destiny and Sunny, are walking up and whining and complaining. The only two that didn't complain about they have to get their own bags was Stormy and Trish. They didn't complain. They just got their bags because you could tell that they normally travel, and they just go and get their bags. They're on their own and they go get their bags. So, Sonny did walk up, and based on how production set it up, when Stormy walked up, it kind of seemed like, she coming. And so Kimmy always had something flip to say, well, I know it's not going to be a good trip. Kimmy, first of all, how long did it take you allegedly to go on your honeymoon? That allegedly, I don't really know if it was true, but I think who somebody paid for it. I think Destiny or somebody had paid for it. I don't know who paid for it, but I know you guys didn't pay for it. That's allegedly. And that's the way they made it seem. If you guys can remember back when Melody was having her debut of her video, and that was at Stormy's house. Um, so, and then, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but anywho, we know she don't really get out of the country that much. So, they were all, Sunny came up and she spoke to each one of them by name, and that's a good thing to do, because if a person doesn't really want to speak to you, if you come and say hello to everyone, they kind of can fall back and say, well, she didn't say hello to me. Sunny came up and spoke to every last one of them and called them by their names. And so, they act like they're like, oh, did you get your bag? Somebody, it's not that important for me to remember who asked her if she got her bag or not. And she was like, no. And then, I think it sounded like Trish was mumbling, like, you guys acting like that with her, or whoever said it. But enough about that. They were on the so Melanie got I'm gonna go back because while they're riding on the shuttle van or bus, Melanie's back and she's starting to assign rooms. So she's going through and she's seen the first room and she was like, this will be for Miss Nail. Now at the time, I or whoever was watching, we didn't know Nell didn't have a name tag because Melody or nobody, Shanita or Lauren, nobody said anything. So, anywho, it was a nice room with a balcony, I think, and everything. So, it was a nice room. So, she kept going, and I'm trying to remember, but all I know is she seen two, was it two double beds first? Anywho, these S's. Stormy and Trish is sharing a room. Sunny, Mel says she's giving her own room because the girls are really not here or checking for Sunny. So she gave her own room so she can unwind, decompress, and everything after a long day. She came upon three beds and she was like, "Oh, you know what? This works out great." You know, Tisha said that she was bringing a plus one, which she's the only one stated that. That's what Melody was saying. And she was like, "This will be great because now they can all be in the same room, her, Kimmy, and her plus one." So back to the shuttle bus with everybody coming with Nell and all of them. The one thing I did not like before, I want to skip back again. When they were getting on the shuttle bus, all of them had got on, and Sunny was last because she had to get her bags. They had already got their bags. So my whole thing was, guys, and production may have put it like this. For me, I'm gonna go by what I see. Did you guys really have to do all the I mean, come on, ladies. I think Melody is the youngest out of, and I'm not saying out of everybody at the house because Lauren, I'm not sure what her age is, but I'm saying out of the cast, Melody is the youngest one, I think, or maybe Stormy, but I think Melody, Stormy, I'm not sure. But anywho, like, come on, stop. I'm gonna need you guys to act grown up. You got to do all the regardless of what production wants from you or whatever. You have to remember that this is your character, your good name, and everything. You don't have to act like a jack-o'-lantern all the time. So for all of that, but I feel like Stormy, once Melly had already hip to what was going to be happening and going on. So Storm, Sunny's always says she has a thick skin, but at the end of the day, nobody really wants to go on a vacation and have to deal with all of that. But you know, um, I guess because you're on a reality show, it goes with the consequence, goes with the territory. So, anywho, they're riding along, and Stormy was talking about uh, the IVF, and they're gonna have a surrogate allegedly. But she was talking about the IVF, and she was saying something to the effect that the first round of IVF, I really don't know because I didn't pay too much attention. When it came to Sunny, Stormy was asking her, did you do your IDF or IVF? Yeah, IVF. I'm sorry, guys. And Sunny was like, yes, and she was like, "Oh, okay." So, and Sunny was like, "But it didn't take on the first or the second time." And I think Stormy really didn't understand. So, she asked her again. She wasn't being funny. I didn't feel like she was being funny. So Stormy asked again. And once she realized that, Sunny has had two rounds and neither one took, Stormy really felt compassion for her. And for me, what really, really bothered me, Kimmy had the audacity to turn her head and look out the window. You telling me I don't care what that production didn't show. But you telling me, and production, they can chop stuff up or whatever, but they only do that based on what you give. If you really was compassionate, you would have turned, you should have been the first one saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, da 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 da." You didn't do that. But you know what, Kimmy, like I said before on my other video, I've seen you from the beginning, and you are who you are, sweetie. That's who you are. Point when they get there. When they get there, everybody's doing the fake hugs and all of that stuff. And yes, I did say fake hugs because they were fake. I feel Nails On was genuine. Um, because regardless of what, until I hear something that Nell has said disparaging against, Melody or anything, for me, that's when I'll say, okay, she's being fake. To me, Nell is just Nell. And that's just how she is. Nell Fletcher, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody was looking, they were like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And it is pretty. And I just want to say this, Kimmy. Melody does not care if you give her the approval or not. She was like, "Oh yes, this is nice. This is nice. I approve." She did her thing. First of all, you already know how Melody roll. I just, for me, Kimmy, several seats because I'm not checking for you, sweetie. You are as phony as a popsicle with no strawberry on top, if that makes any sense, but it does to me. But my other thing is that they all began to walk around and look for their name tags. And Melody was telling them they got their name tags. So they first walk through and go to the room that's supposed to be Miss Nell's room, but it has no name tag on it. So, everybody kept walking because Nell's still walking around looking for her name tag. So then the next room they go to is Sunny's room. And Sunny was like, "Okay, this is my room. Y'all get out. Y'all get out." And so then they came upon the two beds, but Tisha didn't even look good. All she saw was the tea. And so she was like, she was like in her feelings immediately. And if she was in her feelings for them two beds, baby, wait until she see the three beds where she really belong. And so they was like, "Oh, no, 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 no. This is Sunny and Trish room." And she was like, "Oh, okay." The nerves of you. I didn't say the nerve. I say the nerves of you to have some standards when you're not paying for the room. If you're not paying for anything, as long as it's clean, what's the problem? I mean, it don't seem like you guys are going to really, really be inside the whole time. What's the problem? And you're gonna be with your girl Kimmy. So hey, I feel like the room that you what was the room? The room that y'all had in Houston, that room was small. It really was small that you and Marcel had in Houston on the Houston trip. I'm just saying, allegedly, I guess that's what my eyes seen. Still was in her feelings a little bit, but she thought that, oh, that was a mistake. So, baby, when she saw them three beds, when Destiny saw the three beds, baby, I'm not Destiny. When Tisha saw the three beds, I could have took her face and picked it up off the floor because, baby, she was not here for it. She wasn't having it. She didn't even put no bed out. She just kept walking straight. And she was like, she said that she said she know why Melody's doing this. She said because she told Melody that in a text that she's bringing Destiny, and say Melody said, "Okay, you bringing a plus one, so you could be in here." She pretty much, to me, I feel like she was saying it was get back allegedly. So anywho, um, you know, while they're walking outside, her Kimmy and her, Nell Fletcher is having a fit, but I'm gonna be honest with you, a certain part of it was so cute to me because she came in and she was like, I told Melody, I can't find my room. It was just really cute the way she said it like a little girl. And Melody was like, "You can't find your room." She said, "I gave you the biggest room because, you are the oldest. And, most women don't like to be called old or whatever, or the oldest." I mean, I understood Melody meant it as, a compliment or whatever. But, Nell wasn't having that. Nell was like, you're not going to keep calling me old and everything. And so, Nell kept getting upset about the name tag. For me, I don't care about no dang on name tag. Now, if Nell was one of these people that keep things like that, some people do a strap book and they put their pictures and they put the name tag. They put, memorabilia and different stuff like that. So I don't know. But I still think, Nell, you was going a little bit too hard about the name tag, honey. You had a great room. You didn't have to share. And then they, production, messy production, they did, first Nell was saying, well, we made sure, Fletcher and I made sure that Melody was taken care of when she came to Houston. And they did. And even Melanie, when Nell said that to her, she was like, yeah, we did. Melody was like, y'all did. And so, Messy Production, they had to go back and do a replay of how, they made sure Melody room had a door lock on it because Martell was there. And they tried to accommodate her as best as possible. So, but Miss Nail, it's a name tag. Come on. A name placement, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but she was walking around hot about it, baby. When I tell you she was hot, sweating. Um, I don't know. I've, been seeing little tidbits of, people, different people commenting, subscribers commenting and saying that on Twitter that Miss Nail had some drinks. I don't know if she did, but some people that's going on a vacation, they begin their vacation from the moment they get to the airport or on the airplane. So maybe she was just letting her hair down. And, she was a little, she's always feisty, anywho. She's always feisty. So I'm not giving her any passes because of the fact she did a little bit too much for me. It's hard for me to talk about this show because it's just I wish it would have been over a while ago. But anywho, this is what's going on right now. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So Melody said to Nell, I'm sorry. When you call me and you're crying, I'm there for you. Baby, why Nell face looked like she was trying to do that fake crying? Why she got her face got straight and said, and when you call me, you be crying too. You could tell Nell and Mel have a long history and everything like that. Because I think if not, I don't think Melody would have gave Miss Nell that much of time. So everything was well, I guess it was resolved to as much it would be because Nell Fletcher went on for a while. So they go back out. The cameras go back out to Tisha and Kimmi, and so Sonny told Melody, you may want to go outside because some other people got problems with their room too. You wearing that production hat, Sonny, like think she was giving Melody a heads up, like, okay, you got another room problem with rooms too, so they can move forward and get past that. So Melody went out and she was talking to Kimmi and Tisha. And regardless, I feel like I said to either one of them, they was gonna still be in their feelings. Most definitely Tisha was gonna be in their feelings. It doesn't matter because unless she was changing the rooms, that's all they wanted to hear. And that wasn't happening. So for me, I just felt like I don't even want to go blow, blah, blow what they were saying. Melody heard them out. Melody, pretty much told Tisha, like, hey, I felt like, you're bringing your plus one. That would have been enough room for all three of you guys to be together. And so, who told her that she needed? I think Sonny told her that too. Sonny told was it Sonny? Yes, Sonny said to Miss Nell, you may want to go out there and make sure Melody's okay. So Nell came out hot. Nell came out. Nell didn't come out and say, hey, did you guys figure it out? Did you guys squash it? No, honey. Let me tell you. Nell came out. Okay. Is everything y'all got everything together? Everything I'm verbatim. I'm not saying verbatim, but this is me in reenacting. Okay. And then she turned by mail. Okay, y'all got everything together. Everything worked out. In Houston, it was like, I know y'all didn't enjoy the Houston. It was so funny, honey. But she was smiling. But it wasn't funny to Kimmi because Kimmi was already in a mood. And I didn't know she took it as Mel telling her what to do. But then Kimmi was like, I've already been told she said, told us, listen, y'all, let me just break it down to y'all. Unless I say verbatim, I'm always going to give my depiction of it and what I think what should have been said. So anywho, Kimmy was like, y'all, I'm tired. I've already had one grown person tell me, being a grown person, what I need to accept or blah blah blah, and I'm not going to, and the second one, you have nothing to do with this. And so, but as she's saying it, she's walking up to me on Miss Nell aggressively. And at the same time she's walking up aggressively, Tisha takes her hand on the left side of Miss Nell's shirt and pull it up. Because she said Miss Nell's nipple, that old pipple, was almost showing. And Miss Nell was like, don't touch me. Don't put your hand. Baby. So when Kimmy, at the same time, Kimmy was trying to put her hand, and you gonna notice Melody don't push Kimmy hand, but she kind of try to ease it back because, I mean, first of all, you don't get up in nobody's comfort zone. You need more Baltimore. She can be help more. You don't walk up on everybody like that, because some people, depending on their upbringing and their background, you may walk up on somebody, they don't give two fly. And hold on, let me say this: I do not condone violence. You can walk up, and the first time you walk up in their space, and you talking the way she walked up, gimme, gotcha, boom, 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 no conversation. It don't matter if they need monies to get out of where they're gonna go, and always keep 2 to 3 feet, because everybody is not that nice for you to walk up on them. I'm just saying. Forgot another part that Nell said. When Miss Nell walked up and she was like, "Okay, you guys, you just got to deal with it, because I'm between both rooms, and I'm in the middle, and I don't want to deal with now." Nell, Miss Nell, you was just in there, went through a whole dramatic performance about your name tag, name plate for your bed. You, Miss Nell, really? That's like the pot calling the kettle black. So anyway, I had to go back and put that in. She walks off, and she was saying something about, I'm not the one or whatever. And Kimmy was like, oh, yeah, Kimmy was really in. If you look at Kimmy was really in that aggressive mode. And I really feel like she was more mad with Mel, but Miss Fletcher, Nell came out, and she was going to take it out on her. But I think she really was mad with Melody. That's what I think. But you know what? For me, and that's allegedly, when you asked Melody last Saturday, can you bring a +1 when she was giving out them bottles? Melody was like, sure. But you must be going to share a bed with them. At that point, Tisha, you should have just said, well, my +1 is going to be Destiny, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew. So anywho, from that point, there wouldn't have been any disruptions, any problems, or anything. But my problem is also with you, Tisha, when you guys were going through the situation out on the balcony with Ms. Nell and Melody, you gonna make the comment when Miss Nell was walking off. You were like, Nell need to go ahead for somebody to snatch that wig off her head. Who gonna snatch it, boo? You? Just because you got hair don't mean that you don't wear wigs, extensions, and etc. So yours could get snatched too. But I do not condone violence over here. I'm just saying it'll be the snatching of the wigs. That's all I'm saying. Kimmy, the problem with Kimmy, she took it out on Nell. Yes, Miss Nell was wrong, but she really wanted to say certain things to Melody, but she did not. They were playing it off like they cool, like everything is okay, and everything is not okay. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Issue as well as Miss Nell, but you're acting like now the whole situation is Miss Nell's fault. Because even when you guys was giving Mel that passive aggressive, yeah, we're fine, it's okay, we're fine, you guys were going to talk about her like a dog when she left from out there. You can see it all over y'all face. Y'all wasn't checking for her. I really love the way when Melody came inside and Miss Nell was really still going off, and Melody said, "Come here, come here," and she went inside the room with her to sit down and talk. And regardless of what we feel or some of us feel, I don't feel it. I still feel that is a valuable relationship. They have their ups and downs, and I really think the primary problem was not so much Melody wanted Nell to take a side. I think that Melody wanted just to know that Chris and Nell have her back and don't entertain the foolery with Martell. It was the things that, Nell was saying on camera and those things. So that's my opinion, allegedly. But the thing about it is, if Mel say something that Miss Nell don't like, Miss Nell will let Melody know. And Miss Nell was like, I can leave. And, some people will be like, okay, well, you can leave. But at the end of the day, she's not a Kimmi or a Tisha, or a Stormy. This is an actual friendship even before Love and Marriage Huntsville. So regardless, I think Mel has some value in that relationship. And she really wants to have, because Miss Nell, regardless of what any of y'all think, I really feel she is the life of a party, baby. I really do. Some people want to say that she was a little, tipsy. I feel like she was able to sit down, and even under the stress and the aggravation she had, she was able to say, I was wrong. I shouldn't have went out there. I don't see Kimmi or Tisha saying that. So for me, I think, yes, Miss Nell turned up, but we all know she is a ball of fire. So, and that's just the end of that situation. I'm going to go ahead and go forward to at the dinner table. So Melody looked down the table and said, Sonny, are you okay? And Sonny was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just hungry. I was like, I know that's if I was sitting at that table, I'm about to be hungry too, especially if you guys been there all day and no telling how long y'all have been there. So my biggest thing I want to touch on is Shanita, I don't care what nobody say, baby. You said what needed to be said or stated. You said what needed to be stated, and I thank you for that. I've heard just around, different things, even on Twitter or X, they're like, oh, who is that, her pit bull? That's what Tisha want to say in her confessional. No, Melody was talking for herself too, but I feel like it came from the right person, or it could have been anybody except Melody, or anyone else at that table. Because the thing is, what Shanita was saying was spot on. Because if Melody has told you, Tisha, that her Destiny is not her friend, Destiny don't care for her. If she didn't wrote down these things, why she does not care for Destiny, why would you want to bring Destiny? If Melody wanted Destiny to come, she would have given her a bottle, but she did not. So, at the end of the day, you do what you want to do, but you can't complain about the consequences, or you can't complain about the living arrangements when you decided you wanted to bring someone else. That's the part, because Melody didn't pay for them. So, and it evidently seems like you didn't pay for them because you didn't know when she's supposed to get there. Because if you would have paid, you would have known her itinerary. So, speeding up forward towards that, I want to go ahead and get into Miss Trish. Miss Trish, did somebody take your screws out your mouth? Did you go to the dentist and they took the wires out because you were no longer lockjaw? Because Melody brought up the issue like, well, that's not the only people who have problems at this table. She was like, Trish has a problem with Sonny because she's friends with Destiny now and she don't like how things happen. And then Trish like, baby talking loud. You could actually see her tongue, her teeth, her throat. You could see that she actually had a vocal cord. And she was talking and everything and was like, no, that's not the case. You talking like you said that you really wasn't, girl, you know what? Once again, you are a liar. You are a liar. Because you really act like it's funny how you done went from you was shy and don't really want to open your mouth to you full fledged like you've been there for about 4 or 5 years. That what I don't have a problem with her. I just feel as a producer, you don't supposed to do this, and this, and this. And Sonny looking at her, I just, you know what, girl, let me tell you something. You sitting up there a whole adulterer, a Jezebel. And I could say allegedly because that's what I'm supposed to say. But the proof is in the pudding. There is no divorce paperwork done. So that means that you are still married. You have a husband. And Ken is oh, well, I was about to say, Ken is the home wrecker. He's the home to the wrecker. And I bet you if your husband, Marquez, I think that's the name, if he would let you spin the block, you would spin the block. You sneaky, allegedly. You sneaky and you will do whatever. They talking about Sonny. Don't talk about Sonny. You the one probably tried to talk to their men. You already done talked to Martell. Martell said you did. You came to his house twice. And I hope Martell go ahead and tell the rest. Because Martell know where the bones are buried. And you would have never came out and said anything about Martell if he wouldn't have. But we had already picked it up because you're not a good actress and you don't have a great poker face. Because when he came up in Stormy's house before that Love and Friends and Lovers or whatever gala, you couldn't even hide it, baby. You look like you were like, you don't see all of this. Trish, I don't see it for you or Kimmi. Both of y'all, I don't see it for either one of y'all. Neither one. I said what I said about you last week, and I'm going to stand on it. I like how Shanita got the group of women together. She was just like, if you really don't like a person and you sitting at the table, I really feel it's a lot of ops at the table. I don't feel Shanita did anything wrong. I think she may have had some inside information, but you could have just went based off what the crap you were hearing at the table and made your own decision based on that. And for me, it's like this. Tisha sat right there and made the statement, I can sit at the table with somebody I don't like. For me, I'm too long in the tooth and I'm too old for that. You know, for me, I just want to sit and see what is going to be done and said next week, because the previews for next week is already showing me that Destiny thinks she's doing a flex. I don't think she's doing a flex because what was just stated on the preview, I don't know what else was stated because you know they don't give you everything. But if you're just trying to say that he's still texting you up until October, then when y'all was sitting at the table that day when you call yourself going off on him and saying I'm still her and all this, and I'm asking him where his ring was, that episode, you had tried to already allude to he was still trying to talk to you, and he told you he was just checking on you, and that was it. So if that's what it is, that's not a flex, baby. But I'm gonna leave that and reserve that for next week, Saturday coming, because all this other crap you're trying to push on about Melody and Ariane, I just want to see everything you have to say, because you done lost your cotton picking mind sitting up here, baby. You better have some clear cut text that can be shown on the screen that they already got pictures of that we can see, because I don't want to see you reading nothing, Destiny. And that's all I have to say. You know, I just feel like y'all, they so stupid. I would have enjoyed my vacation. I wouldn't have cared what size no room was, as long as the room was clean, there was no bugs or anything. Because Nell Fletcher and Stormy, I don't know about Shanita, but I know that they can afford their rooms, and if they wanted to get something different, I know they can. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're working. You went there to work. You went to have fun, but it's also you were going there to work. Okay, that's all I have to say. Peace and soul. You guys have a good one. Mwah.